Happy Monday, everyone, and welcome to Inside the Newsroom. I'm Maddie Paul. Inside the Newsroom, we bring you the trending stories of the KELOLAND area, and my favorite part is we bring in our newsroom staff members to talk about these trending stories. And they're the same stories that you see every day on our newscasts and online at KELOLAND.com. It's a very different type of Inside the Newsroom episode today compared to last Friday. If you remember or if you watched Friday's episode, obviously that was Halloween. I had a lot of spooky bats behind me. Luckily, they went away today. Perry had even mentioned for when we recorded Boredom Busters, I hope they don't have rabies. So we got the pesticides in, we got them away, we swatted it out. So we're back to our normal professional vibes today. And there's a lot of trending topics to get to today. I'm always surprised by that. I don't know why, but it's just so interesting the range that we can cover here for Inside the Newsroom right here at the digital desk. So stick around. Our first trending story is the lasting impact of the 1985 Marion elevator explosion. So stay with us. Our reporter is going to share those details when we come back after the break. And welcome back to Inside the Newsroom. November 2nd marked the 40th anniversary for a grain elevator explosion in Marion. It took the lives of 3 people. Jordan DeSmit took a look back at that devastating night and talked with 2 first responders who remember the event clear as day.
Marion residents may never forget November 2nd, 1985.
Such a tremendous explosion that everybody just knew that something happened.
That was then Mayor Dwayne Teason 40 years ago. He and his wife Marla still remember that day well.
We were just sitting at the table and going to have some ice cream, and we had set some bowls on the table, and all of a sudden we heard this tremendous loud banging and noises, and the bowls on the table actually started to rattle.
I was baffled. I had no idea what that could be until he looked out and said, "The elevator. It's the elevator."
They were both quick to respond.
We could see it. We could see the fire. And I said, "Grab your ambulance jacket. We got to go."
First responders did everything they could to rescue everyone on site, but the explosion took the lives of 3 people: Keith Schoenwald, Delbert Dick, and Roger Schultz.
The one gentleman, I actually had worked at the same place for a while with him. One of them was my niece's husband, and the other one was a young fellow. It was devastating.
The elevator was eventually repaired and expanded, and it still stands in Marion to this day.
If that stopped, there were a lot of people who would be looking for jobs. And so the community was very much in support of keeping this thing going.
But it also remains a reminder of that tragic day 40 years ago.
I think every November, too, it's spoken of. It's remembered.
We still hurt for the people that lost their lives that day. Those families will never forget it. We'll never forget it. It's just one of those things that you don't ever want happening.
And Jordan DeSmit joins us at the digital desk to talk more about this story. Jordan, this story is really fascinating. Not only are you able to get archive footage of what was reported before, but we get to see firsthand from the people who lived it what it was like for them. And your interviewees were very descriptive storytellers. So how did you get in contact with them, and how did you just learn about the topic of this story?
So that's actually an interesting story. So Don Jorgensen did a story where he went through the archives on this Marion elevator story back in July, because there was a different grain elevator explosion that happened in Nebraska at that time. And so Don put something together on that. And so that's kind of how Don suggested to me on Friday, he knowing I'm the Sunday reporter, hey, the anniversary of the Marion elevator explosion is Sunday. Maybe we can do something. So then it got to the point of okay, how am I going to track somebody down? Uh-huh. And I went to the Facebook post of our story, and someone in the comment section said, "Oh, my father-in-law was someone who died in this incident." So I messaged her, and then she got me into contact with Dwayne. So it was crazy. We got it done, but it was an interesting chain of events there.
What were you expecting them to be just so descriptive and just honestly great interviewees for this story?
I really wasn't, because I knew going in it was going to be a really tough thing to talk about.
Yeah.
But they understood just kind of the gravity of it, and they were willing to tell me their experience. And I know it was probably difficult for them, but I'm grateful that they're willing to do that.
Yeah. Did they kind of lead your story into angles that you didn't really anticipate going towards?
I would say not necessarily, I don't think. I think I kind of got what I expected out of it. And I think that first soundbite that you heard from Dwayne where he said the bulls were rattling, he said that while I was talking to him on the phone trying to set up an interview with him. And that's when I definitely realized, like, oh, this guy remembers it really well. And for good reason, because this is obviously a very tragic thing. And it was also like, yeah, this guy's going to be a good guy to talk to for this.
What was your game plan for the visuals of the story? Did Don help you find that archival footage too?
I was able just to kind of pull that story from our system. And then when I got it on Sunday, I actually kind of went to one of the computers here and I found like just about every story we did on it back in 1985. And I pulled all that footage as well to use. And and I remember when I first saw, because you saw originally that soundbite way back from 1985 from Dwayne. Yeah. And so I wasn't 100% sure if that was him, but I just took a picture and I showed it to him. I'm like, is this you? And he said, yep, that's me. So I'm like, okay, I got to work with this and see how I can incorporate that. So.
And then your game plan's changing right then and there.
Exactly.
But I thought it was really important that you used that archival footage and then, the video that was shown of that today, that it's still here. And it was interesting that he had a bite that said to like, without it, like, where would we be now? Like we needed this for our town. I just thought it was also interesting. What do you hope viewers take away from this story?
I mean, just understanding that, look, this was a very tragic thing, but I think it's also important that we remember it so we know how to be better in the future and just also remember it so we can, honor the lives that were lost. And so those names aren't forgotten.
Right. Well, Jordan, thank you so much for sharing these details here at the Digital Desk. Really fascinating. You always get these fascinating stories to look at. I don't know. It's really cool. Thank you, Jordan. And everyone stick around because you are invited to an event tonight that will shed light on teen addiction and prevention. Find out more details when we come back after the break. And welcome back to Inside the Newsroom. Parents who want to educate themselves about the dangers of addiction are invited to a free workshop tonight in Sioux Falls. Emily's Hope is hosting the discussion to provide parents and caregivers with tools and knowledge to better understand youth substance use. Parents can also learn about strategies to prevent it. And Tom Hansen has a preview.
Emily's Hope is working to help parents understand the dangers and warning signs of teenage addiction. It's something Emily's Hope founder Angela Kennecke knows firsthand after losing her daughter to fentanyl poisoning in 2018. She wants to make sure that other parents have the knowledge and tools to help their kids.
We'll hear from a school resource officer, we'll hear from a young person with lived experience with addiction in the home, and we'll have an addiction counselor who's also a prevention specialist there. So really, it's a chance for parents to learn more and to also ask questions.
Tiffany Cassius, a licensed addiction counselor and certified prevention specialist at Avera, works with kids every day. She will share strategies for prevention and communication.
Well, I think having just basic information of what's out there, what kind of are the trends and what are some of the concerns and things that they should be watching out for to support their own children or somebody else's children or other parents to come together as a community to work on things together.
Kennecke says the risks associated with youth substance use are real, and parents and caregivers play a critical role in prevention.
It's one of the biggest threats facing our children today. Parents may not be aware, and they may think, not my kid, right? That's certainly what I thought. But even good kids can make poor decisions sometimes. And in today's world, kids can't afford that because one poor decision can result in death. And so parents need to be equipped with this information in order to protect their families and to avoid tragedy.
Both Kennecke and Cassius say parents should not feel alone and know that there are resources available to them.
And Tom Hansen joins us at the Digital Desk to talk more about this story. Tom, it's always such a difficult topic when we're talking about substance use, fentanyl, addiction, but whenever we see Angela with Emily's Hope, it gives me a little bit of hope knowing that that awareness is being spread. And you obviously have rapport with Angela after working with her. How does that help for interviews, just having a rapport with somebody like Angela? Or is it pressured at all, especially depending on the topic?
No, excuse me. I would say it is actually easier because,
after working with her as my co-anchor for as long as we did, I kind of know where she's at. But every time I talk with her, I have to tell you, Maddie, I'm amazed at how much she knows. I can throw any question at her, and she'll go off for 5 minutes. She knows so much. She's immersed herself in this, and she's talking with other experts every day. And what that does is you learn when you're talking with all these other people. So, no, I think it's actually easier to answer your question.
What about with Tiffany? Was that someone you got into connection with from Angela because she would be speaking at the event too?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Well, then have you spoken with her before?
No, I never had before.
Okay.
And so we went to Avera, and there were actually some other people there along with her from Avera. And we had, after the interview was over, we had a long discussion, probably a good 15 minutes about, where things are going. And, young kids don't seem to be drinking alcohol as much, but they seem to be vaping more and using marijuana more. So there's probably another story down the road for us.
Those after the interview discussions are always so interesting because sometimes I'm like,
Absolutely.
Oh man, I wish I had a camera on for this, but sometimes it's not warranted. But you're right. Sometimes after speaking with someone, there could be ideas that come up in the future, and you're building rapport right then from there too. And so creativity just keeps flowing.
And I think the other thing to your point there, Maddie, is that once the camera's off, people are more willing to open up. Mm-hmm. So you have frank conversations.
Yeah.
And then that can lead to stories down the road.
Right. What do you hope viewers learn from this specific story now?
The one point that Angela made was that even good kids can get in trouble. And that really struck home with me when I was writing this and putting this together. It's like, oh, wow. Yeah, you're right. As a parent, you have certain worries. And then as a parent, you think, well, no, my kid's a good kid, But all it takes is one mistake, one friend to do something wrong. And yeah, it can end a life with fentanyl out there. It's so dangerous.
And then one last reminder, when is the workshop tonight?
It's tonight at Lincoln High School. All parents are invited, grandparents, aunts, uncles, anybody. They just want to educate people, and there'll be lots of speakers there, and I think lots of really good information, and parents can ask questions too. So there'll be a Q&A session. Mm-hmm. So if there's a parent out there and you've got something on your mind, a question, something's not quite right, gosh, my child isn't acting the same way, this would be a great opportunity to go and get some questions answered and educate yourself.
Tom, thank you for sharing these details and giving us more of a preview into tonight. Thank you.
You bet.
And stay with us for everybody watching Inside the Newsroom, because we do have an update to the times of one of our shows here on KELOLAND Plus. So stick around for more details when we come back after the break. And welcome back to Inside the Newsroom. Scott, no monster voice this time.
No.
Lucky for you.
Yeah, remember that Friday? We talked about that. And if you didn't see the episode, you could go ahead and get it on demand.
That's
my
right.
mistakes. We were talking about my mistakes, which I'm sure there'll be plenty more.
I've had a lot of questions actually since that aired about what happened with the robot voice, because we didn't play the mistake with the robot voice.
Oh, I have it on my laptop. Don't you worry.
I think that's the next one that we pull out
robot
when we need
voice.
to.
What would we use that one for? What would be a robot type of day?
Well, I don't think
one of
any
these
of the
days
holidays.
where we're kind of stuck inside if the weather turns nasty.
Well, it won't be pretty soon, right? It's going to be a warm week, a happy Maddie week.
Yes, a happy Maddie week, and then a weeping Maddie weekend. How's that for on the fly?
That was pretty good, but that makes me scared.
Cold air coming this weekend.
Mm-hmm. I got to watch Whether or Not early today because there's been some changes.
Yes, there has.
To KELOLAND Plus and our shows. I guess you should explain that first before I talk about what you talked about on the show.
Yes, Whether or Not is now dropping. Is that the lingo? Dropping at 9:30 in the morning, and still, and instead of waiting until 1:30 in the afternoon, we're now on at 9:30 in the morning. You can catch Whether or Not, and you can always catch it on demand too.
But we're not changing. You're still going to be on at 1:30
at 1:30. So it'll be 9:30
2
and
chances.
1:30 or on demand.
chances to see it like that just on our stream.
Yes.
Always on demand, too. Always on demand. That's the best thing about KELOLAND Plus, especially the app, watching those segments on demand. But you and Brian started off whether or not talking about snow.
Snow, right. Snow and cold. There is a chance.
My favorite words.
For this weekend. But you know what? Before we get there, well above average, 50s, 60s, a couple of 70s will show up in western, maybe south central South Dakota. I think the warmest day out of the week will be tomorrow, Tuesday.
Okay.
And then after that, we cool a little, but still above average in the 50s and 60s. You know, our average low temperature is 30.
Oh.
And we're not.
Just for this year or in general?
Used to that. I mean, that's what it is for this date is 30, and it continues to slowly go down. That's our average low temperature for November 3rd.
We're doing pretty good for me.
I know. We're not, but we're not used to the cold. So once we get into this weekend and the cold front comes slamming through, strong northwest winds behind it, falling temperatures as we go through the day. What do they say? It takes less muscles to smile. There you go.
I'm smiling now.
May have falling temperatures during the day, and then we'll see if we get any light rain or light snow showers to go along with it.
Did you get affected by daylight savings time at all?
My hours, I don't think it matters.
Not really?
No.
I loved waking up today for work and seeing a little bit of sunrise. I was like, no way, what is this magicalness?
It's been what is this
dark.
sorcery?
Yeah, but now I'm kind of scared to go home tonight and be like, why is it dark so early?
Yeah, and the hours that I have, my sleep rhythms or whatever it is, patterns, it doesn't matter.
No.
I mean, you could go 2 hours. I mean, you go throw another hour in there. It's not going to
He's like, whatever.
It won't make a difference. I mean, it's just goofy. I woke up today. Well, it was funny because Saturday night, went to bed, woke up, my body wakes me up. So I woke up, I think it was around 1:30. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, yeah, I felt pretty good. I slept pretty good. And I just looked at my phone. I'm sure a lot of people do that anyway. Looked at their phone, checked a couple of sports things, and I'm getting closer to 2 o'clock. I actually checked the weather to see what the hourly observations were at the airport. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, wait a minute. 11, 12, 1. Wait, I don't think we've hit 2 o'clock yet when we fall back.
Yep.
So I was doing a couple other things on the phone, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to set an alarm for a 1:59. Just to see where I'm at. Because, of course, the phone updates by itself.
Yeah, right. You don't need to do it.
I don't want to go wandering around the house looking for a clock. So I set the alarm, and wouldn't you know it, it goes from 1:59 back to 1 o'clock.
Oh, so the alarm didn't go off, right?
No, well, it was a countdown.
1:59.
Yeah, it was a countdown alarm.
Gotcha.
So I did it for like a minute or whatever it was, whatever I had to set it for. Mm-hmm. So I watched my clock and my phone. It went from 1:59 back to 1. I'm like, I haven't even made it to the real 2 o'clock at that time. So
I forgot it was daylight savings time.
My sleeping rhythm, it doesn't matter. I don't even know if I have a rhythm for that.
You'll learn. Maybe this will help.
Here I am. I'm 51 years old. Do you think I know by now?
Soon. I completely forgot it was daylight savings time, at least the night before. And then on Sunday, I was in my car in the morning, and I guess I slept in because it was like my car clock said like 10:41.
Okay.
And I was like, wait a minute, because I'm looking at my phone and I'm looking at my car clock, and I'm like, something's not adding up here. And then I was like, oh my gosh. So I like super slept in.
Yeah, how was your Halloween?
It was great. It was a lot of fun. Didn't really go out, and I'm okay with that because this year's been kind of crazy. If you go downtown or just head out with early 20-year-olds, there's like a lot going on. But I saw on our U-Share folder that somebody in the McKinnon Park area was handing out cotton candy, like they were stirring it, like right in their garage, and I thought that was really cool, and handing it out to kids. Like as a kid, that would have been my bread and butter.
Yeah,
bread and butter.
You still like cotton candy or not?
No.
Not
as a kid, it would have been my bread and butter, but as an adult, I don't know. Give me like a hot dog. I want like something savory, savory Halloween treat.
Okay, so then what do you put on your hot dog?
I love mustard, but I only like ground mustard. I don't like yellow mustard.
A little bit of spice to it, right?
Mm-hmm. I love a little spice.
Yeah, being from outside Chicago, it's mustard.
Good, just mustard?
Yep.
No ketchup?
That's it. You know, I know there's that Chicago style that puts the whole pickle spear on it. And you got the poppy seed bun.
Oh,
and you got all the
yeah.
relish and the onions and blah, blah, blah. Except the ketchup. No ketchup.
No ketchup.
Yep.
Barbecue
Being
sauce?
from Chicago, you really don't put ketchup on the hot dog.
You don't need much. If it's a good hot dog, you don't need
Me,
much.
I'm just mustard on it, and I'm good.
I love mustard. I heard on whether or not that you have a lot of leftover candy too. So you got your gummy bears.
Yeah, we have some.
Skittles.
Yeah, there was we had about, I would say, I guesstimated 15 to 20 trips going to the door.
Okay.
But, you know, there were times when there were a lot of kids there. So a couple of groups would show up at once. And I think we had one group of 3 or 4 that were all in those inflatables costumes.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember. I mean, a couple of dinosaurs out of it.
Yes.
There might have been 1 or 2 other things. But the thing about it is, depending on the size of the child, and if you're in one of those dinosaur costumes, you're kind of dragging the dinosaur's tail behind you, and then you're waddling down the driveway, and the tail's doing this.
It's going all over the place.
Thanks
even
for
the
sweeping my driveway.
Sweeping it. That's funny.
And it's hard for them. It's like some of them, it's hard for them to, you know, they needed help opening up their bag to put the candy in.
They can't see.
Yeah, they're asking their friend for help. Oh, can you get my bag? And yeah, so I mean, but it was great. It's great seeing all those costumes.
Have you seen, like, over the years, like, more or less kids come to the front door for trick-or-treating?
It depends on the weather. It really depends on the weather, because I know last year it was still chilly. We didn't have much wind last year, and we didn't have the threat of rain.
Yeah.
And we were out on the driveway, and we had a fire going, and we just would
nice.
pass them out as the kids would come up, and the adults would come up too. And if they were walking their dogs, we had a bowl of water for them, maybe a couple of treats set
Little milk
aside.
bone, nice greenies.
Yeah.
All the good stuff. That's
But this
sweet.
time around, no, we stayed inside. We shared, Melanie and I shared going downstairs. Sometimes we went down there together to see what was down there, what the kids were dressed as. So it's always fun.
Sounds fun. Yeah, my Nana and Papa have a lot of Halloween candy left over.
Yeah, what kind?
Reese's. So I'm like, yes.
So they get the kind you like.
Yeah, exactly. So then I can just nibble every once in a while. But my Nana and Papa are the best because they hand out the full-size bars when they can. They have like the little mini fun-size ones too for the really young kids, but then the big ones for the other ones. And so lots of leftovers. Scott, I'll bring you some tomorrow.
The Reese's.
The Reese's.
Melanie's a fan of the Reese's.
Perfect. She can have it.
There we go.
You can have the gummy bears.
Okay.
All right. I think that's all the time that I have, Scott. I got to wrap things up. Inside the Newsroom is donezo.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Of course, Scott. Thanks for coming in. And everybody, thank you so much for watching. Remember, whether or not now airs at 9:30 in the mornings on KELOLAND Plus, you could still watch it at 1:30 on the live stream right after this show Inside the Newsroom. And it's always on demand, too, if you have the KELOLAND Plus app. That's free for any Roku, Fire, Apple, and Samsung Smart TV. So make sure you stick around and watch that show with Scott Munt and Brian Karstens. And that's all the time that we have for Inside the Newsroom today. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, have a great day, everyone.